Now suppose if we want to have two rectangles, and both these rectangles will have their own dimensions and their own length and breadth and area respective. So we will now have to measure the area of both these rectangles. For this particular reason we will have to assign them values first of all, and then we will have to measure their area. So in this particular case what we need is that we will need to have their length and breadth. Suppose now I'm assigning the second rectangle its length and breadth. Suppose the first rectangle's length was 2 and the breadth was 3, and the area was this one. So now the value of the length is 2 and the breadth is 3, so the area will be measured over here, and this will be printed in this particular line. So rectangle, the rectangle of the first rectangle I should write over here. So first rectangle is, so this is the area of the first rectangle. So now for the second rectangle, again I am using the same variables and I am assigning it different values. Suppose the length of the the length of the second rectangle is 4 and the breadth is 5. So now I am assigning both these variables the value of the second rectangle. Now area will now measure the product of this value, because the location of variable length and the location of variable breadth in the memory will now hold the value 4 and 5. So now it will measure this particular area and it will print this area. For this particular reason I will have to write this code once again, and now I will write over here second rectangle. So what is happening is that since you know that the value stored in the location of the variable length is now updated to 4 and to breadth is 5. So now the area would be 4 into 5, so this is measured over here. So this time the area will produce 20. So if I save this particular program, I'm just saving it now. So I'm going to run this program now. You will see that it produces two outputs now, not a single output this time. So now so now there are two lines. The area of the first rectangle is 6 and the area of the second rectangle is 20. So in this particular case I have to write this line of code again for producing the same work. So in this case when I'm using function, this could be done more easily, as all I need is that I will have to reassign it the values, and I will just need to call the function once again. I don't need to write the code of length into breadth once again, because the line of this particular method return length into breadth is the line which is doing that work for me. As in this particular case just there is a single line in this particular method, but there might be cases in which there might be more number of lines. So in that case it would be more helpful for the programmer. For this I am just writing for your help that how it is going to work in this case for the second rectangle. So like it worked in the previous case, over here also it will work in the same manner. I will have to just write these lines of code once again. So now it is 4 and this is 5, and now this line of code is copied and just pasted over here. So I've saved this now. I'm just going to I've already saved by using Control S, and now it is rectangle 1. So what happens. And now I will have to write it as rectangle 1, and hopefully this will produce the same output as it produced in the previous case. Okay, but one more thing was needed was sorry, the second rectangle I have to write the second rectangle of the the first rectangle is okay. So now you can see, I'm just compiling it now. For running it, we'll have to write it rectangle 1. So this is producing the same output as the previous program, but in this case I don't have to write this particular line. Suppose if I want to increase certain code, I want to write the parameter also. So for in this case you will see that how we are going to reduce the number of lines now. Parameter, so you know that I'm writing it like this, parameter and area. So you know that the parameter is, the formula of the parameter for the rectangle is twice the product of your length plus breadth. So length and then plus breadth. So you know that this is the parameter. So in this particular case, when I was writing in program rectangle 0.java, so in this case I will have to write this line again, this line of code for parameter also. So I'm just copying it and just pasting it now. So not the area but the parameter, and now it is in the variable parameter. So parameter, okay. I will have to write this line of code for parameter in this particular program also, sorry, in this particular portion also for the second rectangle. So and this particular line for printing the parameter out. So as you can see that I have to write all these lines of code again and again. I've saved it now, and I'm going to produce the output to ensure it that it is working as expected. Now you can see that both the parameters and the area are produced for both the rectangles, respective rectangles. Now in this particular case, as I've used the method for the area, similarly I can make the method for the parameter also. Okay, so let's suppose that the name of the method is get parameter. Okay, so parameter. Okay, so as you know that the formula is 2 into, now it is not length into breadth, in fact it is the length plus breadth. So just cutting it from here. Yes. So hopefully this will produce the parameter. Now I will have to write the same line of code for the parameter also. In this particular case I will have to just copy this line, Control C, and paste it over here. So get, the name of the method is get parameter. So now I'm passing both these variables to this also, this method also, and it is not an issue over here, and this would be returned in the variable, in the variable parameter. Actually, I've not declared here, that's why it was not producing parameter for me. Now it is produced. So in the same way, I will have to write the parameter for the first one also, first rectangle also. Now I will have to write the same line to print it also. So for printing it, I will write system.out.println and Control C, Control V, the not the area but the parameter now, the parameter, and now here also the parameter, the parameter. In fact, I could make the lines more less in this particular program. I will show you how I could do that. So hopefully this program is correct now, but I will have to write a second over here now. CCONG seconds. Now Control S, I'm saving it. Now let me recompile it. The name is rectangle 1 now, not rectangle 0. So this is now you can see that both the programs are resulting in the same output. Like we have the first rectangle is 8 and the second for the second rectangle we have is the area is 20 and the parameter is 12 over here and the parameter is 18 over here. So you can see that the programs are running perfectly fine. Both these programs are running perfectly fine. In fact, what I could have done over here is that I even don't need to write these things. I could have just used these lines over here only instead of running, but hopefully you have understood the concept now, and I will try to enhance the concept, enhance this concept, and tell you the more basics behind these concepts in the next lecture. Thank you for now.